Hi friends, today I'm going to talk about the chapter number 1 and it is on marketing planning in new places and new possibilities. So let's have a look at first why we need to plan about marketing or why we want to do marketing planning. If you look at the consumers today and their habits today or the way they are empowered with better information, more choices, higher expectations, better market access, and more purchasing power. Look at them, right? They have lots of information sources, personal, non-personal, through social media, through internet, right? There are lots of forums, lots of things that they are having access today. Right, they have higher expectations, they got more earning power, the credit availability is great, and therefore consumers are more empowered than before, and therefore they're more involved in marketing practice. So you got to know them, what are their demands, and you must identify, right, that what are their expectations. And in that respect, we need to understand the marketing and what are their expectations. So therefore we need to plan it in a better manner. Now, if you go back to the basics of marketing, what is marketing? Marketing is all about delivering value to the customers. Now, delivering value to the customers means if you're not able to provide superior value to the customers, they will not buy your products. You want to compete with the competition and your competitors, and you want to make an appeal in the mind of consumers that you're better than others, you're providing a lower price or better price and a better quality of value. So you want to make sure that you provide better products. Now, when you look at the market planning process, it is a structured process, right? It is a systematic process how to provide value to the customers, right? Organizations and to the stakeholders. You're not looking at just customers, but you're also making sure, and while you're pleasing customers, you're improving profits, you're improving wealth of a company, and thereby you're also helping other stakeholders. So in this process, you will require to research and analyze your current situation first, like where you are, what are your capabilities, right? And what resources you got, and what can you do better, and what opportunities do you have? Do you have any threats? I mean, you need to learn about your current situation, basically SWOT analysis, right? The next step that you might do is you might develop and document the firm's objectives, strategies, and programs. So you look at your mission statement, look at your vision statement, what acts, why you were existing, basically why you were in the existence. And if you can find out like what were your objectives, what is your purpose of existence, what are the programs, what are the strategies that you're following right now, then I think that makes sense, right? And if you don't have sufficient plans, sufficient objectives, or let's say better objectives, then you might want to develop those objectives. Once you have those objectives, strategies, and programs, you might want to implement them. So without implementing, you cannot get success. So great ideas are not successful because they are not implemented in an effective manner, and therefore the next step would be implementation, evaluating and controlling those marketing activities. If you don't control them, you'll not get success. You have to see, you have to monitor the performance. Now, if you look at the planning process, it has gone marketing planning process, it has gone 6 steps to follow, right? So whatever I described just before, they are here in this figure in your book, right? So the objective of all those 6 steps is to provide better value, to build great relationships, long-term relationships, making brand loyal consumers, and make a difference. Uh, standing aside or standing out in a competition. So therefore, as I mentioned, step number 1 is research and analyze the current situation. Step number 2, understand the markets and customers. Step number 3 is plan for segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Step number 4 is plan direction, objectives, and marketing support. So step number 5 would be developing marketing strategies and program. And then at the end, step number 6 is plan metrics and implementation control. How do you control your or how how do you manage your control system in order to achieve those objectives. So these are the 6 steps for that, right? Now, what are the contents in marketing plan? What do you include? What is a part of your marketing plan? When you're writing a marketing plan, what it is exactly? So the first thing would be like your executive summary. So executive summary is something called executive summary is it includes basically executive summary, market current market situation, target market, customer analysis and positioning, your objectives and issues. It also includes what is your current strategy, what are your programs, marketing programs, what are your financial and operational plans, and also the implementation and control strategies. Now, overall strategic plans. Now, the whole process, you have to look at the whole process of strategic planning before you do marketing planning. Marketing planning is at a third level. It's kind of like functional level strategy. But above that functional level strategy, we have business plan or business level strategy. What is popularly known as the plans of strategic business unit. Every corporate house has strategic or corporate plans. Under corporate plans, we have business plans and then marketing plans. I'll give you some examples. For example, overall strategic plan could be like, mission and vision of a corporate group. For example, GE has its own vision and mission statement. Now, under GE, they are into a lot of businesses. For example, energy, home appliances, financial services, right? So power business. So like GE would have different business, and under different business, they'll have business plans, and within those business, they are performing different functions. So for example, for its power business, they might have marketing plans. So that's how marketing plan is a functional plan, right? That is at third level actually. But you have to make sure that you synchronize your all marketing plans with your corporate plans and your business plans. Now, you have to consider certain general considerations when you're trying to develop a marketing plan. What to consider? First thing, you have to consider competitors and other stakeholders that might influence the plan. Look at your marketing actions. Are they always the way you want them? No, they are influenced by a lot of people, right? I mean, a lot of factors, and one of them is close thing is competitors. Do you think all these retailers in Canada would come up with price match by themselves? No, it is because of competition. They have come up with price matching, and that's where competitors influence to your marketing plans. The second thing is planning process usually starts several months before a plan is scheduled into operation. So like it's not something that you see something and you react to it. It's not just reaction, it's all about being proactive. So you have to start in advance, and you must make sure that it is being coordinated inside the firm and outside with strategic partners. Let's say, for example, Tim Hortons might want to come up with some new products, but then it has to make sure in order to come up with new products, it must be delivered by the strategic partners, for example, suppliers. Or let's say Tim Hortons is selling Pepsi's products. So now Tim Hortons might wish to, sell a new pop or new brand of Pepsi at Tim Hortons, but it has to make sure with Pepsi that it is available to them at a reasonable price, or price that is acceptable to Tim Hortons and Pepsi. Now, first step is you want to find out what is your current situation. So as I mentioned before in my lecture, that you have to do SWOT analysis, so which includes external and internal analysis, like what are your strengths, weaknesses, what are the opportunities and threats. And this internal and external factors might include a lot of things. So I'll tell you what are those external factors. External factors are those factors under which I mean you'll consider political and legal factors, economic factors, sociocultural, technological, ecological. These all factors, you cannot control them. You do not have control over them. They are not manageable factors, but you have to adjust with those factors. For example, can you restrict technology to grow? No, You got to just adapt them, use social media, progress yourself, use the technology, right? You got to keep the pace that you adapt those technologies. Same with the social and cultural environment. Same with the political changes, right? Same with the ecological changes. Same with the competitors' action, right? You have to match the competitors' action so you do not have control over them. Now the next thing is internal analysis. Now internal analysis is all about, as I said you before, it's about building your strengths and looking at the weaknesses. How can you improve on your weaknesses, or other way, how can you exploit the competitors' weaknesses? So the first step was all about understanding your current situation, so SWOT analysis. Now the next thing is markets and customers. You must understand your markets and customers. If you fail to understand who are your customers and what are you trying to sell or offer or market them, you might fail, and that has happened to lots of companies. They were failed to identify their behaviors. They were failed to identify their likes and preferences. They failed to understand the culture, right? And therefore they were not successful. So better you develop a comprehensive understanding of your customers' buying habits and behaviors. Who are they? What are they? Where are they? When they buy, why they buy, and how much they buy. If you don't understand these all things, I think you might fail in the market. I'll give you one example. When Disneyland, right, went to Europe, they failed to understand the Europeans' culture of having wine at dinner, and they restricted it in their amusement parks, and they failed, and that was a big blunder by that company. So make sure you understand your customers well. When you're going to India, make sure you understand that you cannot sell beef there. I mean, it's culturally, people don't accept it. So make sure you adapt it. The next step is plan segmentation. Like, you have to plan what is segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So as you know, segmentation is all about dividing market into smaller pieces so that you can satisfy their needs. The smaller pieces are based on their similar needs, wants, behaviors, and attitude. For example, Johnson & Johnson has targeted babies, right? I mean, they have divided based on the age or life cycle stage of individuals, right? So lots of companies offering services to old age people, that is also based on age. For example, all those companies who are selling occupation-based clothes, for example, to the construction people, is an example of segmenting market based on their occupations. There are companies who are marketing their products or segmenting their markets based on the geographic boundaries. So these are the examples how you segment the market. Now the next thing is target market. So once you have divided your market based on number of variables that are available to us, you have to select a specific market that you're willing to serve based on your competencies, your skills, and your abilities. Now the next thing is positioning. So what is positioning? Positioning is all about creating a unique image in the mind of your target market. So for example, Walmart has created an image that yes, they can provide at lower price all products to their target market. The next thing comes is like you have to make sure that your plans, objectives, and your programs are well supporting to your products and your strategies. So you must set your goals, objectives, and make sure that they'll help you with both long-term and short-term. Now, there are many companies today focusing on sustainable marketing or the long-term marketing practices, which is all about creating, communicating, and delivering value to the customers in a way that both natural and human capital are preserved or enhanced throughout. So by focusing on community, by focusing on societal growth and societal importance, they are trying to grow. they are using those kind of marketing practices. For example, Sun Chips came up with the biodegradable bag, but which was making a lot of noise, and therefore it had conflict in the mind of target market. But there are lots of companies focusing on going green, paperless processes, and those kind of practices. Now, the next thing is, once you have your goals and everything, make sure you develop your marketing strategies and programs. Now, this has to be consistent with the goals and strategies, mission and vision of a company. Now, while you're developing your programs, make sure you're looking at 4Ps, right? Your all those programs are around your product, price, place, and promotion. Now, also you have to include your strategic partners, your suppliers, your channel members, because they play an important role in delivering value successfully to your target market. The next step is like, while you're designing your marketing practices, you cannot ignore today the social media marketing, because there are lots of people on internet now, and they are having access to social websites, for example Twitter, Facebook, blogs, and a lot of things, MySpace and stuff like that. So there are social communities, there are social publishing, social entertainment, and social commerce. So make sure while you're trying to reach your target market, you consider social media. Now, the last step was about like plan and matrix implementation. So you have to make sure what are the key performance indicators, and you measure them. What are the financial controls or financial measurements? Return on marketing investment, return on sales. What is your market share, cost per customer acquired? You can also look at what is your brand's performance, what is the awareness, what is the consumer loyalty, how loyal customers been increased. So that's how you have to look at all those performance measurement parameters in order to review or in order to evaluate your performance. See, measuring performance is not just annually. You can do it any point of time, right? Quarterly it can be done 6 months, but once you have identified those issues, you have to address them, and you have to fix those issues by doing more research or by developing better strategies for your target market. And as I told you before, like, your primary tool is marketing mix, or 4Ps, right? You have to play with products, quality, features, brand, packaging, labeling, warranty, service. You can play with the prices, list price, discounting, right? Pricing, other pricing strategies, looking at the competition. Or play with the promotion, like using social media, internet activities, direct marketing, advertising, sales promotion. You can also play with, you have to manage distribution aspect with number of locations, quantity that you're offering, the assortments that you're offering, order fulfillment, and stuff like that. So basically, by planning all those things, you can have better marketing practices or better marketing plan. Now, and make sure that you provide support services. Now, today we are living in a world of service economy, right? We live in a service economy. So basically, what matters is not just physical products. How better services can you provide? If you can provide better services, then that will work best. So at the end, when you're planning for marketing activities, make sure that you have done your research, looked at your internal strengths, external opportunities and weaknesses, and then you decide on your objectives and your marketing plans, and make sure you use 4Ps as your tools. You also segment your market and select a good target market. And then you have to monitor the performance and control and continuously evaluate it. And if you see any changes that needs to be done, then you have to incorporate those changes. and never ignore the evolution of social media in your marketing activities. So that's everything from my side today, and thank you very much. Please don't forget to write comments on this video to let me know how did you find this lecture. Thank you and have a great day. Bye bye.